Have you ever wondered about the little magical workers behind the enchanting jelly jams of Bramblejam Wood? Then allow me to tell you their story. Before the Bramblejam factory, before the fuzzberries learned to glow, and even before Wallace the Wood Wizard set foot in the forest, Bramblejam Wood had its very own guardians. They were called the Glimmerwings. Thousands of years ago, a wishing star grazed the treetops, and its magical spark didn't just vanish. It soaked into the very soul of the forest, the leaves, the moss, the roots. From this enchanted blend of starlight and nature, tiny creatures emerged. They had the grace of elves and the magic of fairies. These first Glimmerwings were gentle, wispy beings, glowing with soft pastel colors. Their wings made a pure, fluttering light. As the forest grew, so did they. The Glimmerwings evolved, forming different clans based on their talents, their personalities, and their roles in the magical community. Each clan had its own unique color and style, but none became more famous or more mischievous than a special group known as the Jellykats. The Jellykats are the steampunk tinkerers of Bramblejam Wood, but they didn't start out as engineers. Originally, they were just the most curious of all the Glimmerwing clans. They had the appearance and instincts of a cat, and the grace and magic of a fairy, and they were always poking their noses where they didn't belong. They were fascinated by gears over glitter, preferred tools to toadstools, and loved inventions more than a quiet cup of ice lily tea. So how did they get their name? Well, when the very first batches of magical jam were ever brewed, long before the factory was built, these curious cat-like Glimmerwings couldn't resist dipping their paws into the warm, gooey jelly. You know, just to test the viscosity. Their sticky paws left glowing neon paw prints all over the forest floor. One day, Professor Bumble slipped on one of these glowing prints and exclaimed, "Jellykats!" The name stuck, quite literally, to everything. So what does a jellycat look like? Imagine a fascinating mix of a steampunk engineer cat, a fairy-winged mechanic, and the inventive spirit of the forest itself. They have delicate, dragonfly-shaped wings made of a thin, magical film that shimmers with shifting colors. Around their waists you'll find tiny leather tool belts, always packed with miniature tools. And of course, there are the signature brass goggles, usually perched on their heads, though they rarely seem to use them properly. Their outfits are adorned with clockwork accessories, like gears, springs, and even tiny wrenches. Even their fur is magical. It changes color depending on what kind of magic they're tinkering with that day. You'll know a jellycat is nearby by the sound of its wings. They buzz with excitement, purr with happiness, and sometimes they even spark, especially if they've had a bit too much glow syrup. When Wallace the Wood Wizard finally built the Bramblejam Jelly Factory, he faced a challenge. He needed workers small enough to navigate the tiniest pipes, but clever enough to operate complex magical machinery. The Jellykats were the perfect fit. Instantly, they became the heart and soul of the factory. They took on roles as steam pipe technicians, fearlessly fixing leaks and adjusting copper valves, though they do occasionally get stuck inside those jelly tubes. They are the factory's wandering troubleshooters. The moment a pipe hisses or a jar glows a little too brightly, a jellycat will appear out of nowhere, wielding a wrench that's often twice its size. They are also brilliant, if chaotic, inventors. They've created gadgets like the self-stirring spoon storm machine, the marshmallow pressure compressor, and my personal favorite, the automated jam jar polisher, which has a mischievous habit of chasing the factory's pet dog just for fun. The Jellykats are absolutely essential to the factory's operation. Sure, some days they might cause a little more chaos than they solve, but without their curiosity, their ingenuity, and their sticky paws, the magic of Bramblejam Wood just wouldn't be the same. Thank you so much for exploring the world of the Glimmerwings with me today. If you enjoyed this magical backstory, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more enchanting tales from Bramblejam Wood. See you next time.